She walks steadily across her kitchen, her bones quiet, her steps careful. On the outside, nothing seems wrong, but inside her body, something invisible is happening, slowly, silently. Every day, without a single warning sign, she is losing calcium. And not just a little. Women over 65 across Europe and North America are facing an unseen epidemic, age-related calcium depletion. It doesn't announce itself with sharp pain. It arrives as shrinking posture, fragile balance, and sudden fractures from simple movements. And by the time it's discovered, it's often too late. Calcium loss after menopause isn't just a part of getting older. It's a signal, one that demands action, not silence. This video reveals the daily mistakes and lifestyle habits quietly accelerating calcium loss in women over 65. Backed by medical insight and stories drawn from real seniors, we'll explore how to protect your bones before the damage becomes permanent. Whether you're 65 or 85, understanding this now can mean years of strength, mobility, and independence ahead. If you care about senior health, motivation, and elderly wisdom, make sure to subscribe to Elderly Reflections and turn on notifications, because sometimes the most important lessons come quietly, but they stay with us forever. You don't feel it. That's the problem. Calcium doesn't scream when it leaves your body. It doesn't ache or bruise. It slips away quietly, mineral by mineral, gram by gram, until one day a small stumble becomes a fracture, or your back begins to curve and you no longer recognize the woman in the mirror. For women over 65, this is not just aging. It's a pattern, one rooted in biology, lifestyle, and invisible habits. And it's happening every single day, often without a clue. It begins deep within your body, with the fall of estrogen. For decades, estrogen was your silent protector. It slowed the cells that broke down bone and kept calcium where it belonged, inside your skeleton. But after menopause, estrogen drops sharply. Without its protection, the body begins to resorb bone faster than it builds it. Clinical research across Sweden, France, and the UK shows that women can lose up to 2% of their bone mass every year in the early postmenopausal stage. That might seem minor, but across 10 years, that's a 20% loss in structural support. You wouldn't drive a car with 20% of the metal frame missing. Yet many women walk through life unaware that their very foundation is thinning. Then there's the quiet shift in diet. Many women reduce dairy out of concern for cholesterol or lactose intolerance. Others follow plant-based trends without realizing almond milk or soy alternatives often contain less absorbable calcium. And calcium alone isn't enough. It needs companions: magnesium, phosphorus, and especially vitamin D. Mary, a retired librarian in Dublin, switched from milk to oat milk to feel lighter and cleaner. But months later, her lower back ached constantly. Her doctor ran a DEXA scan. "You've lost more bone than expected," he said. She returned to eating yogurt and aged cheese, added leafy greens, and saw improvement, not just in her scan, but in her mood and mobility. But even if you consume enough calcium, your body might not be absorbing it. That's where vitamin D comes in. Vitamin D is like the key that unlocks the door to calcium absorption in your intestines. Yet as you age, your skin becomes less efficient at producing it from sunlight. Add long winters, indoor routines, and UV protection, and the result is deficiency. A Canadian public health study found that 63% of women over 65 had suboptimal vitamin D levels. Rosa, 72, from Vancouver, hadn't been out in the sun for more than 15 minutes a day. When her doctor checked her levels, they were below 25 mmol, too low to support bone maintenance. She began supplementing with 2,000 IU daily, and her next test showed not only improved levels, but better sleep and less leg pain. Now let's talk about something you probably have in your kitchen: salt. Most seniors are told to watch salt for heart health, but few are told it drains calcium. High sodium intake causes the kidneys to flush out calcium in the urine. A 2019 German trial revealed that seniors consuming more than 2,300 milliliters of sodium per day excreted 30 to 60 ml of calcium along with it. Renate, a widow in Bavaria, loved her salted butter toast every morning. Her doctor gently explained how her sodium habits could be thinning her bones. Together, they worked on seasoning with herbs, lemon juice, and seaweed flakes. It wasn't a major change, but it protected her body's most precious mineral. The next piece of the puzzle is movement, or more precisely, the lack of it. Bones are living tissue. They respond to force. When you walk, climb stairs, lift light weights, or even carry groceries, your bones receive signals to stay strong. But too many women after retirement begin moving less, not from laziness, but from fatigue, stiffness, or fear of falling. And yet, it's this stillness that causes bones to weaken faster. A study in Colorado followed senior women who took daily 30-minute walks. After 6 months, they maintained significantly higher bone density compared to those who were sedentary. Jean, 66, used to sit through long winter days indoors. After her friend encouraged her to start a coffee and walking routine, she noticed her legs felt firmer. "I thought I was resting," she said. "Turns out I was slowly dissolving." Then come the medications. So many women rely on pills to manage acid reflux, arthritis, blood pressure, and more. But medications like proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, corticosteroids, and certain diuretics all affect how calcium is absorbed or how bone is metabolized. Gloria, 75, from Boston, had been using omeprazole for nearly a decade. When her dentist noticed receding jawbone on an X-ray, she was referred for a bone scan. Her doctor explained that PPIs lower stomach acid, making it harder to absorb calcium carbonate. Switching to calcium citrate and rechecking her medication timing made all the difference. Within a year, her density scores improved. Each of these factors seems small on its own, but that's the trick. Calcium loss doesn't come in waves. It comes in drops. A little lost here, a little blocked there. Over years, the deficit grows, and once bone is gone, rebuilding it is slow, difficult, and often incomplete. That's why awareness now, today, is everything. Every day without change is a day calcium quietly leaves the body, but every day with intention can begin to restore balance. In the next section, we'll uncover how everyday habits, from how you cook, to what time you take supplements, to what you snack on before bed, either help keep calcium in your bones or push it further away. And more importantly, we'll look at how real women changed their routines and stopped the silent loss in its tracks. Every day, calcium can slip away. Part of that loss is due to what happens after menopause, but the rest often comes from our daily routine. Let's gently expose the hidden habits that speed up that silent erosion. It starts at the breakfast table. Many women over 65 get less than half of the recommended 1,200 ml daily calcium intake, often around 600 ml, because shifts in taste, digestion, or diet lead to fewer dairy servings. A European nutrition survey shows this isn't rare. Nearly 70% of seniors fall short of the mark. Replacing cow's milk with almond, oat, or hemp milk may feel healthier, until you realize those alternatives often contain little to no bioavailable calcium and may rely on forms like calcium carbonate, which require stomach acid to digest, something our aging stomachs produce less of with time. Then there's supplement timing, a small detail that makes big difference. Calcium carbonate should be consumed with meals. Calcium citrate can be taken any time. Yet many women take them indiscriminately, mixing them with coffee or before bed. This leaves important minerals unabsorbed, flushed away with the next trip to the bathroom. Simple habits like this silently undermine your efforts. Let's talk sunshine and vitamin D. You might feel fine, but feeling well doesn't equal sufficiency. As our skin ages, its ability to create vitamin D from sunlight reduces by half. A Canadian study found 63% of women over 65 had low vitamin D, even in summer months, leading directly to poor calcium absorption and bone maintenance issues. Without vitamin D, you're building houses without sturdy foundations. Salt, again feeling like a harmless staple, may be draining your bones. Scientific trials confirm that eating more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium daily can push out 40 to 60 milligrams of calcium in urine each day, equivalent to a tablet lost in vain. A senior in Bavaria once told me she thought she was helping her heart by cutting salt. What she didn't realize was how much she was taking from her skeleton as well. Protein isn't often discussed in bone health, but it's critical. Bone is partly made of protein. Too little leaves structure weak, but too much, especially acid-promoting protein, may increase calcium excretion. The sweet spot is a balanced intake: lean meats, beans, fish, and dairy, all supporting both muscle and bone. Medication sneaks in too. Many of us rely on prescription or over-the-counter pills, PPIs for reflux, corticosteroids for inflammation, certain antidepressants, and diuretics. Each of these can impact bone strength by affecting calcium absorption or changing bone metabolism. A woman I know struggled with reflux for years before realizing her calcium supplements weren't working. Her PPIs were keeping them from absorbing correctly. And what about movement? Bone is a living tissue. A muscle machine gives it strength. Women who adopt at least 150 minutes per week of weight-bearing exercise, like brisk walking, gentle garden work, ballroom dancing, or light resistance training, show slower bone density loss and stronger structure. A retiree friend from Vermont began daily stair climbs with a weighted backpack and found her posture, mood, and bone density improved over a year. Small steps, big change. Lifestyle choices like alcohol and smoking shouldn't be overlooked. Drinking more than 3 glasses a day or smoking pushes estrogen lower and disrupts nutrition and bone repair processes. Thousands of women say they didn't realize just how much damage a nightly glass of wine or years of smoking had done until their bone density score forced them to wake up. Finally, screening, something so simple but often delayed. Many women don't get a DXA scan until after a fracture. Yet leading medical groups in Europe, Canada, and the US agree. Early screening, starting around age 65, saves independence and prevents costly, painful injuries. Think of it like a yearly visit to the dentist, but for your bones. These hidden issues may seem insignificant in isolation, but they compound over years. The daily calcium lost in urine, not absorbed in food, or not inserted into bone, drains the skeletal structure 1 grain of sand at a time, until one day the foundation weakens enough to break. Yet it's also hopeful. Once you understand each leak, you can begin to seal them, adjusting your diet, refining supplement habits, moving your body, reviewing medications. Each step offers a chance to stop loss and begin rebuilding. In the next segment, we'll walk through that blueprint. Simple, science-backed actions you can use tonight to start rebuilding your bones and nurturing long-term health. Because elderly reflections aren't only about what's behind us, they're about stepping forward stronger and more inspired than ever. It's one thing to know what's draining your bones. It's another to act on it, night by night, step by step. In this part, we bring the wisdom of real seniors together with science-backed habits, forming a blueprint that fits into evenings, mornings, and daily routines. Because healthy bones in the golden years are built on small, thoughtful changes, something every woman deserves to feel and experience again. Let's begin with what you eat and drink. Calcium-rich foods are essential, but how and when you consume them matters just as much. Start with breakfast. A bowl of fortified oatmeal with Greek yogurt, berries, and a handful of slivered almonds delivers not only calcium, but also vitamin D, protein, and healthy fats. Victoria, 67, from Sweden, swears by this combo. It's warm, full, and feels comforting, she says. And it works, not just to fill her belly, but to deliver about 400 to 500 milligrams of calcium before lunch. Mid-morning, she enjoys a small cheese and whole grain cracker snack. By the end of the day, she hits the 1-200 milligram mark without feeling like every meal needs a supplement. Supplements still play a role, but they need to be smart. Use calcium citrate if you're also on acid-reducing meds or if you're prone to indigestion. Take your dose spread out, 500 milligram midday, with food and the rest with dinner. Pair each dose with 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D, ideally in the morning with breakfast to help absorption. Keep them at the same time every day. It trains your body, your memory, and your rhythm. Take note, avoid mixing them with foods high in oxalates or phytates, like raw spinach or legumes, immediately afterwards. Now let's add movement. Think of your skeleton as a tree trunk. Every step, every press, every pull keeps it growing firmer. European and American bone health guidelines recommend 150 minutes of weight-bearing activity per week, plus muscle strengthening sessions twice a week. This can look beautiful and free right in your neighborhood. Tessa, 70, from Ireland, walks the cliffs with her daughter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't feel like I'm exercising, she laughs, but after a year, I feel stronger climbing the hill. She adds 2 short resistance band routines at home, simple door anchor exercises for arms and legs. As a result, she's more stable, no longer stumbles on cobblestones, and feels confident taking stairs. Add balance drills to guard against falls, standing on one foot while brushing your teeth, heel to toe walking along a hallway, or rising onto tiptoes to reach for a high shelf. These are small moments of care that pay off hugely when bones are strong and falls don't equal fractures. Sunshine is free but often forgotten. Spend 10-15 minutes midday in sunlight with uncovered face and arms, weather permitting. That small burst allows natural vitamin D synthesis, especially in summer. In winter or low-light areas, supplementing is vital. Consider testing your levels with your physician to tailor the dose across seasons. Tracking blood levels twice a year at the beginning and end of winter is powerful knowledge. Hydration supports every cell in your body, including bone. But don't let evening water turn into nocturia problems. Drink steadily throughout the day, tapering off 2 hours before sleep. If nighttime bathroom trips still plague you, see a physician. Pelvic floor therapy, timing of diuretics, or even light yoga before bed can ease the issue without compromising hydration. Next, let's talk about bedtime and what Evelyn, 68 from Canada, calls her bone care moment. After dinner and a light wash-up, she dims the lights, turns off screens, and takes her evening supplement dose with a small slice of turkey and a glass of water. She sets out her resistance bands and vision journals by the bed. In the gentle glow of a lamp, she rolls her shoulders, practices 3 deep breaths, and writes one sentence: "My bones carry me with grace." It takes only 5 minutes, but it signals to her body and mind that she values herself and begins the healing process for tomorrow. Mindset matters too. Too often, senior women internalize fatigue and resignation. But the truth is this: hearing your body's quiet signals, noticing the slow slide of posture or the slightly thinner hip, that's strength, it's caring. And every habit you build responds. You're not fragile, you're resilient. You are honoring your body by tuning in and making choices that restore, not just preserve. Your medical team is part of this journey. Ask for a DXA scan every 2 years or sooner if your bone health changes. talk about medication timing, discuss calcium citrate if you take PPIs, ask about hormone therapy or SERMs if needed. Explore pelvic floor therapy for bladder concerns. Get your vitamin D measured and tracked. These conversations matter. They inform your strategy, personalize it, and empower it. And remember, share your journey. Senior health doesn't have to be private suffering. Tell friends, family, knitting groups, church, yoga class. Share your walk, your snacks, your morning stone steps. You'll grow stronger together and inspire others across Europe and North America to do the same. That's the power of elderly wisdom, the shared strength of lived experience. So tonight, before bed, take a moment, think. What did I do today to feed my bones? Did you walk outside? Did you move your arms? Did you make sure your supplement was taken well? Did you nurture yourself with words that honor your body's work? This isn't perfection. It's practice. It's change. It's the beginning of restored strength, bone by bone, breath by breath, day by day. You've carried children. You've built homes. You've stood for others when your own bones were tired. And now, perhaps more than ever, your strength still matters. Not just for walking, climbing, or bending, but for staying independent, vibrant, and alive in the body you've lived with for decades. Calcium loss is silent, yes, but awareness is loud, action is louder, and healing, when you commit to it, is the strongest voice of all. If this journey has resonated with you, if you've seen a piece of yourself or someone you love in these words, then take a moment now, like this video. It helps others find it. And if you want more stories, science, and elderly wisdom drawn from real life, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. At Elderly Reflections, we're building a space for strength, clarity, and healing, together. And before you go, I have one question for you. Where are you watching from today? Drop your country or city in the comments below. Let's see how far this message travels, across borders, across generations, into every home that needs it.